Questions with Nate Chappell, Finn Hammond, and Johnny Fisher.
So the way the several questions work is that basically we found a machine in the woods called the Questionator 5000 that was evidently engineered to generate infinite, very silly questions. And Johnny, Finn, and I have dedicated our lives to answering them all one by one by one. So how's everybody doing? I know off the top I want to just acknowledge that Finn said he's feeling really shy, so he is just like kind of nodding a lot. Oh, he's nodding really hard now. Wow.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Are you okay? I'd ask him if he was okay, but I'm afraid I would be violating his boundaries a little bit. His current
code of shyness.
Yeah, code of shyness. He was pointing. He held up a piece of paper to the camera and was pointing at it, and it said "code of shyness." Well, yeah, he's just pointing at that piece of paper with his cute little finger. Oh yeah, there's that smile, Finn. There it is.
Okay, I'm feeling better now.
Yeah, I thought so. Now that you're connected to the Zoom. Oh shit! Let's go on to the first question.
What profession did you enjoy pretending to have when you were little?
I have a feeling it was like a I wouldn't have known the name at the time, but like a paleontologist excavating dinosaur bones. That's what they do, right? I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks fun. I mean, the older I get, I notice that they have to be really careful once they actually get to the bones.
Yeah, I would totally. That would be too high stress. I would totally break a bunch of bones.
Yeah,
I break my own bones all the time. I keep breaking this one pinky toe over and over again. I would have been fired.
Yeah.
Imagine falling on the rib cage of a triceratops.
Okay, hold on a second. Ouch.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it would hurt.
Are we talking about bones or fossils? Are they? It seems like it would be hard to break a fossil, right? Okay. I've never broken any of my fossils.
Is that right?
No.
Well, yeah. Then you should be fine.
Okay, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
Am I hired?
You're hired.
That was the weirdest job interview I've ever had. Like by a long shot, we didn't talk about my experience or like, which is good. Honestly.
I want you to imagine a specific scenario, and if you came out of that,
if you think I think you'd be fine. And I never even really watched any of the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, you should.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're fired. You're fired. We can't have you on our team if you don't know.
No, I wear a fedora.
Okay. All right.
And carry a whip.
Rehired.
Refired.
Rehired again.
Okay. Pretending to be. I feel like ninja would be mine.
That was a good one.
Some sort of like stealthy warrior.
Nice.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Stealthy warrior.
In the shadows.
What do you want to be? Unseen. What else? Because I mean, there's like firefighter. That was like a classic. I don't remember.
Officer, doctor. Yeah.
Doctor, I guess I would do, if you know what I mean, sometimes. But veterinarian, I would say, or zookeeper, kind of like. Cause I had a menagerie of stuffed animals, or stuffies, as they are called now, because many of them are not animals anymore. I guess that's why. Do you think that's why?
That's probably why.
Were they stuffed animals when you guys were kids?
Oh yeah.
In your region?
So yeah.
And we're not.
And now
stuffies.
they're stuffies.
Yeah, now they're stuffies.
Well,
I caught myself saying
do you think
stuffy the other day, and I was very upset.
Do you think it was? Do you think you're like a? It's like.
Is that why you were so upset, John?
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that because you were really rude to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called me.
You reached out to us.
Remember? Yeah, you called us, and then just we were like, "What is this regarding?" And you said, "You, sir, are a butt face." And I assumed you were talking to me because you, sir, and I know you respect me and don't respect Finn. And then you were like, "You, butt face, or sir, to Finn. And it was like,
Call me sir.
yeah, harsh. So anyway, I'm glad to know why you were so upset. It's understandable now. Why was it again?
Oh,
'cause you
because I
said
said stuffy.
Yeah. So do you think this is like part of the woke left movement? You know,
I would say so.
stuff nouns. That's like pronouns, I guess. Is what I was going for. I don't know if it landed, but
I would be a construction worker a lot of the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think I wanted to do that because
A
that's
bulldozer.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
big
yeah.
machine type stuff, or
Big
like
machine.
a carpenter. I thought you were like, I know you were super into Jesus when you were a kid, so I thought maybe you'd be more of the carpenter kind. You know?
Jesus was a construction worker.
Is that true? He held the stop sign.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Watch
always
people
thought
do.
of Jesus as a
Metaphorical
kind of
stop sign.
No, yeah, as a control freak. I was gonna say. So like, it would
He had
make sense because he would always tell people to stop doing that. You know, stop making fun of the
Stop doing this. Stop
Sex
making fun of
workers.
my iridescent vest.
go eat some of these grapes. I was gonna say drink some of this wine that I made from my blood. It's cool. It's cool.
Cool. Yeah, weird guy. In retrospect,
So
What a
you
freak.
so yeah, I guess veterinarian. I don't know that I don't remember pretending to work ever. Oh, I guess like actor or performer is the profession I pretended to do the most. Like either I used to make radio shows, you know. So yeah, totally radio host, podcast host, essentially. Oh, I did it. Oh man, what a real life fulfillment. It's really come full circle. So this is the last episode of several questions. If you, all the
Finally,
listeners
guys.
could come in and pick
As
up
you
their
know-
checks by Monday.
once everyone on the show lived out their dreams, then
Yeah.
the show could finally end.
And Finn and
And this-
Johnny gave up
I give up. Yeah.
over the course of the last couple of years, which is fair.
And it was part of my
stumbled into
dream. So
to give up. Yeah. That's a pretty good strategy, actually, to make it nice and attainable.
yeah.
And like if you're a self-sabotager, if you make that goal, then you'll succeed wildly, perhaps.
Yeah.
Also, convenient of you to give up after you bought a house.
Yeah, real
You
convenient.
know what I mean?
Yeah, real convenient.
It's like, oh,
I don't think that was
Doesn't
on
really
mic. In the fictional world of several questions, Johnny still lives in my closet, so you're kind of
oh, right. I see.
kind of blowing it up. Okay, let's go on. I had another profession, but I forgot about it. What's the oldest profession in the world? That one. Next question, please.
If you were in a food fight and could have one food from each food group as your weapons, what food items would you choose?
What are the groups?
They are fruits, vegetables, grains,
I thought
protein
fruits and
foods.
vegetables were together.
Not anymore.
Oh, dang.
I just looked it
Okay.
up.
All right. Continue.
Like you actually saw me look it up, Johnny.
yeah.
Why would you debate me on this right now?
I
From your
just-
memory of your childhood, I think
I like
they
to challenge
separated.
your status quo,
I know.
so.
I know you do. You've got a real problem with authority. I'm like Jesus over here. Fruits, vegetables, grain. Stop. Fruit, vegetables, grains, protein foods, and dairy. I like it. It probably also did not say protein foods when we were kids.
Grain
No.
protein.
It was like hunks of flesh,
Yeah, meat.
Yeah, flesh parts.
meat foods. Yeah, animal foods,
Animal
parts, animal
Animal
parts and
juice.
juice. Do you remember
That's
that
funny.
ad campaign? I don't know what it was for, but it was Parts is Parts. Do you remember? I'm sure that wasn't the. I'm sure it was an ad campaign for the other guys or whatever. You know, Parts is Parts. Anybody remember that? It was like
Like a hot dog
KFC,
commercial. Oh,
maybe, or chicken, maybe, or
yeah.
Parts is Parts. Anyway, look that up,
This
audience.
is parts. All right.
Okay, farts is parts.
I would take. So there's not too much you could take from the milk category or whatever they called
the
it.
dairy.
Dairy.
The dairy.
Yeah, there's not a lot of dairy stuff. Cheese, I mean, I actually broke my finger on a wheel of cheese once.
Yeah,
Speaking of breaking bones. On a 80-pound wheel of Parmesan I was moving with Thomas, perhaps you remember, Finn, from the cheese kiosk when we used to work together at a grocery store, Finn and I.
You had to roll it? That's the only way you could...
We had to lift it off of something and onto a barrel for like a display purpose or something, maybe. Or no, we were going to cut it. But it was very greasy and slippery. Mm-hmm. And so it just started to slip, and then it just kind of like fell onto my finger, and it hurt really bad.
Ah!
Did I file a report? No. Why? They drug tested if you filed a report. I could have passed it, but it was just the principal. Wink, wink. Sorry, I had something in my eye.
You believe
I had something in my mouth.
I had to get that out of my mouth. That sucks. Okay, so that sounds like a very powerful weapon. Okay, cheese, then. I'll use a big wheel of cheese.
Yeah, you could roll it at people, take out their legs.
Roll it down.
Then so you got dairy. Now you got... Let's go fruits and vegetables. They seem like easy.
I bet we could all come up with
They're low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say like a grapefruit would be like, it's a pretty good hand size.
A dragon fruit, because it's big and it's spiky.
Oh, it's spiky. That's true. Oh, I think a grapefruit could really pack a punch, though. You can really
for sure. Or like a coconut.
whip it.
Oh, coconut. People actually die with coconuts.
Really?
Coconuts fall on people's heads, they die.
I thought they just got amnesia.
That can happen, too. And that's basically like the death of
your memory.
Your conscience,
really, what are we except a collection of our memories, guys? You know what I mean? Anyways. Okay, now moving on to vegetables. You could use something like a big gourd. You know, kind of like as a mace. Gourd for hand-to-hand. I'm thinking I'm thinking like also not just throwing, but also if you're in hand-to-hand combat, it would be nice to have something like one of those weird gourds that is like basically a handle with a ball on the end.
Yeah.
Whip people in the eye with it.
I would use a pumpkin as a boxing glove.
Oh, interesting. So you stick your hand in there, they'd be so gushy.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Be nice and soft for me. But the outside.
Would you carve it, do you think?
Oh, so it'd have like a scary picture on it as it comes to hit you?
I put a scary picture and hold a candle.
Or just you carve sorry.
Yeah, that sounds
like you don't want to hurt anybody, but in this hypothetical, you don't really have a choice.
You forced me to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
it takes so long. Like the food fight's over, everybody's got, like cleaning up, and you're like, "Okay, are you guys ready?" You just whack somebody, a janitor.
Janitor.
I had a food fight in the WHA, the local PBS affiliate studio, one time, and it was wild. It was a horrible onslaught of candy and food being whipped everywhere.
Was this sanctioned by the?
No. It was late night. They used to have they'd have the auction drive. So it would be like a fundraising drive where they'd auction off a bunch of stuff, and it was this big event. And it would go for like 12 hours a day or something. It was ridiculous. And volunteers would come in and do the phone banks and everything. And then towards the end of the night, they would donate kegs, like the Great Dane or whatever would donate kegs of beer, and so we would just have free beer, and we would stay there because we would all be working there all day, and then the next day, and we would just stay there very late and get hammered and rollerblade around because we had a bunch of rollerblades donated.
Whoa!
For this auction drive, and we would just grab them and go around because like the floors in a TV studio are really, really smooth because the camera has to go over it, you know.
Word.
It's pretty cool.
So you'd have rollerblades over that. Oh my god!
And that wasn't. Luckily, we weren't on wheels for the food fight. I feel like that would have been dangerous. All right.
That's insane, though.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I don't know what that means. Okay, protein foods. We got meats. What do you got?
T-bone
meatballs.
Meatballs, good. Yeah, they're good.
Or
It
like
can't be
a projectile.
Yeah. Can the bones be part of it?
They can be part of it, I guess.
Yeah,
but
the
they can't be
bones.
it. You know, you can't have just the bones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be
Unless
in
you're
the
an
meat.
archaeologist. It's
The
in the
drumstick.
Ham hock.
meat. Is that because your last name is close to ham hock?
Mm-hmm.
Not the turkey
that makes
leg.
sense. Epic
'cause
turkey
I'm-
leg. I would do
Turkey.
maybe fish.
Yeah.
Slapping people with a fish. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, next we got grains. Oh, like a huge, like, tough baguette.
Oh, okay.
Or a bag of rice, I guess.
Yeah, that's bag of rice is what I was
probably the deal.
thinking. Yeah.
That's
Swing
probably
it, throw it,
Eat it if you're hungry.
Eat it, yeah.
You know, you burn a lot of energy.
Twist it.
versatile.
Twist
Bop it.
Bop it. Right, you got it. All right, next. Do we get all the categories here? Oh, yeah, we sure did. We nailed this. Holy shit, we are prepared for this onslaught. All right, next question.
What food that is often in your fridge are you least likely to eat past the expiration date?
So I went a really long time without eating meat on the reg, and I find that lunch meat has kind of a peculiar smell when it's good. You know, especially like the prepackaged kind,
Yeah.
not the deli kind, but
It
like
can
the...
trick you, like to thinking it's off, but it's not.
So then, so if it's past the date, then I'm just like, no. Like, I will assume that this is going to smell bad either way. I don't know. So I'm just going to, that's the one I'll trust. Because as far as conspiracy theories go, like, this might be the one I believe in the most, is that the expiration dates are horseshit, like, largely. And I have a very good nose, so I feel like I can usually tell if something's on or off. And in my experience, the expiration dates are not accurate, are, like, way conservative, which I suppose I can understand both from the market advantage of having you have to throw your food away and buy more food. Like, that makes sense from a capitalistic standpoint. And also, like, you don't know how good my fridge is,
Yeah.
I guess.
Uh,
So yeah, I would
grapes.
say turkey meat is where I'd go. Grapes, you think?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I can tell when they're bad. They get all shrivelly, turn into raisin, kind of like.
And so you would, but I'm talking about just based on the date, I guess.
I mean, they have a little printed thing on the bag sometimes.
But even if they look fine, you would not eat it past the date.
Oh, not eat it past the date.
Yeah, that's a question.
I didn't listen. Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
Was
There was a
thinking,
lot
I
of
would totally
words in there. Yeah. Which are you least likely to eat past the expiration date? Mine's
okay.
turkey meat.
Yeah, turkey meat's a good call on that one then. I was kind of...
For me, yogurt and cheese are both fine. I don't care. I don't even look at the expiration date on cheese.
Yeah, I'll cut the mold off cheese.
Right. You definitely can. I used to, I'm a cheese professional. I used to literally do that. Cut
As
the
a
mold
job.
off of cheese.
Nice.
Yeah. That was acceptable. That's legal. Well, maybe not.
Who
It's
knows? I mean,
encouraged.
depends on how many years it is, right? It's 12 year. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's bound to be some.
Can I tell you a scary memory I have? I used to work in a cheese food factory called Lactopert USA.
Good
It was
name.
originally called Stauffer's Cheese. Then it got bought by a Swedish company or Swiss company, I can't remember. That was Lactopert USA. Now it's Dairy Foods USA, I think. Anyways, it was processed cheese. It was a factory, and I would pour a bunch of cheese into boxes, liquid cheese into boxes, and then put them in the fridge. Anyways, there was a group of people, they were the grinders, and they would take the cheese that had been sitting, like these huge barrel-shaped bricks of cheese, and they would take them and slice them into big chunks and throw them into the cheese grinder, and which grinds it up into little, shreds it up basically, and then it melts it. Anyway, or I don't know what it does. Anyway, there was a guy there who was really nice and outgoing and stuff, but what they would do is on these barrels sometimes they would have on the outside there would be mold, and they would just cut the mold off with this huge machete. And he was like this nice guy, and I like looked over at him. I was working next to him once, which I usually didn't work next to him, and I looked over and he picked up the knife and he made this terrifying face as he cut the mold off he was like, it's like almost like he was like murdering this cheese. It was very scary. And then as soon as he stopped, he was done. And then I realized throughout the rest of the summer that every time he picked up anything that had any weight to it, he would make that face. It was really scary. But definitely most scary to discover that while he was holding a machete and slicing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, geez, he's really into slicing that cheese.
He's pissed about that mold.
Must be
anyway, his name is Mark. Mark, if you're listening,
cheese murderer.
Your face makes a weird thing when you do that. Okay. Other than that, turkey. I'm trying to think what else is. Like milk, I can smell if it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it'll trick you by having that little ring around the milk's actually good, but like the little milk got stuck in there and soured it around the mouth, just gotta be careful about that.
Beans or tomato stuff, like refried beans like that. In a thing that's been in there for a bit. So that's something I'll look at is like, we'll put a date on something when we open it and put it in the fridge for leftovers, and I'll kind of abide by that. Yeah, Viv does that. I don't want to. I would not do that, and I would just have mold on all my food, because I would be like, is that still good? I don't know. I'll check tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I keep doing.
It would not be good.
Yeah. And then I go, well, I'll get to that later. And then it just gets pushed back further, and I go, there's no room in the fridge.
No, there's mold all over this.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, well. That's all. I guess meat in general.
Yeah, any kind of meat.
I'm pretty paranoid
that's
about
wet.
Like what?
Like as you were saying, like sauce, water.
For me, like tomato sauce, something like tomato.
Juice?
I'm afraid of botulism. Orange juice, yeah.
Oh, well.
That can be really gross when it's bad.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's really gross.
I left a jug of orange juice in my second locker in high school, and I forgot that I had the second locker, and then at the end of the year, I remembered, and it was really gross.
I did that with a banana just recently. Kristen ran a race.
You just went back to your high school.
Yeah, no. Kristen ran a race, like, I don't even know, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, and like grabbed a banana, and then she was all out of it. It was 'cause she just ran like 50 miles or some shit, and then it was like, remind me to take this banana out. And I was like, yeah. And then yesterday, she was sitting in the passenger seat and was like, pulled up this black shriveled thing. It was like, John, I told you to remind me to take this banana out. And I was like, what banana?
Was it in the car?
Yeah, it was in the car. I never smelled it or anything, but maybe it really rotted when we were on our trip. I don't know. I have no idea. Just
got it out of the way.
But I feel like that race was long before that trip, so I don't know.
It just maybe it just happened so fast because it was so hot this summer. Like it was part of it.
It just instantly preserved
it. Just melted it. Yeah. Just like
it was like perfectly. It seemed like a petrified banana, honestly, like or a mummified one.
Well, I'd be mortified if that happened to me. Anyways, that's all the questions for today. Now get out there, ask questions, be curious, not furious, and always remember, you can't have an ellipses without lips. For John Foster's and Finn Haddock, is that right? Hamhock? Oh, Finn Hamhock. I'm just Nate Chappell, and this is Several Questions.
Thank you for listening to Several Questions, a production of Wolf Out Radio. Click on the link in the show notes for more Wolf Out shows.